Lil Durk has always been known to stand on business, especially when someone crosses the line or messes with him or his circle.
You with anybody that harm my people, I can't with you. I'm not into it with you.
Since his arrest on October 24th, 2024, for that murder for hire case, the streets haven't stopped talking. Word is Bricc Baby might be one of the people who snitched on Durk, and honestly, they might be right, because Durk is coming for him, in full force. So what really happened? Did Bricc Baby snitch? Let's break it down. The streets have been buzzing like crazy with rumors that Lil Durk put Bricc Baby on blast for allegedly snitching. This whole situation has the rap game in shambles, with fans going at each other's necks online over who's keeping it real and who's moving like a rat. Lil Durk got picked up by the feds on October 24th, 2024, facing serious murder-for-hire charges connected to the 2022 death of Xavier Robinson, aka Lil Pab, Quando Rondo's cousin. The moment Durk got booked, fingers started pointing, and Bricc Baby caught all the heat as the suspected snitch. These charges aren't random. They're tied to Durk's long-standing beef. His situation with Quando Rondo has been heating up ever since the Atlanta shootout in November 2020 that left King Von dead. After Von was killed, the feds claimed Durk put a bag on Rondo's head, which supposedly led to the 2022 hit attempt that ended up taking out Lil Pab instead. For Durk, this is by far the most serious case he's ever faced. Back in 2012, it was just diss tracks with Lil Jojo. And in 2014, there was a little situation with Chief Keef that eventually got squashed. But this Quando beef has real bodies involved, and now the feds are all in his business. The alleged plot against Rondo shows how rap beef can go from lyrics to life sentences, especially with people like Bricc Baby, who fans believe might be talking on every platform from Reddit to X. Online, fans have been breaking down every connection between Durk and Bricc Baby. Some are saying Bricc Baby is named in the paperwork as a co-conspirator, allegedly giving up Quando Rondo's location to Durk's crew, OTF. Whack 100 took it to the next level by calling out Bricc Baby as a rat during DJ Academic's livestream. Meanwhile, someone on X claimed Durk dropped a whole 100 bands on Bricc Baby to set up the Lil Pab hit, which only added more fuel to the fire. And over on Reddit, the rumors haven't stopped. This story is spreading like wildfire. In a Reddit thread about Bricc Baby's alleged involvement in the Lil Pab situation, one user dismissed the whole thing, saying, "Who cares what AK thinks? They haven't done anything important or progressive. For the culture, they just live on the internet 24/7, talking about things they haven't been through or know nothing about." Another fan broke down Bricc Baby's own lyrics, pointing out how he said in a song, "A quarter ain't enough, you gon' need 100, and claimed that could be a reference to the alleged 100K payment tied to the Lil Pab situation. Makes this whole thing even more intense is Durk's long history of beef in the drill scene. From early run-ins with Lil Jojo and Chief Keef to more recent smoke with NBA Youngboy and 6ix9ine, Durk's been through it. Most of those beefs trace back to Chicago's gang politics, especially the tension between Black Disciples, Durk's set, and the Gangster Disciples. The irony in all of this is heavy. Durk's main issue with 6ix9ine back in 2020 was that 6ix9ine was labeled a rat after snitching on his 9 Trey homies in 2019. Like most of the culture, Durk saw that as breaking street code. He even planned to drop music the same day as 6ix9ine's Tattletales album, just to try and crush his numbers. Now, Durk might be getting backdoored by someone from his own circle, which shows how fast those street principles can flip. But what makes the Bricc Baby situation different from Durk's other beefs is this ain't about direct opposition. It's alleged betrayal from inside the camp. And in street culture, that's the ultimate violation. That's why these accusations hit so hard. Bricc Baby hasn't stayed quiet either. In a Vlad TV interview, he flat out denied being co-conspirator 4, saying he was locked up on November 6th, 2020, and that person supposedly linked with Durk. He admitted the feds ran down on his crib in 2023 and took his phone, which had messages between him and Durk, but insists that had nothing to do with snitching. Still, some of Bricc Baby's own statements have fans side-eyeing him. In another Vlad TV sit-down, he made a hypothetical comment that being broke might have tempted him to give up info in the past, though he claimed he never actually did it. Check how Bricc Baby breaks down the street politics in this clip.
You gotta pray that the dudes that you mess with, you gotta pray that these dudes don't never turn on you, because it's so much betrayal and like disloyal going on. It don't matter how much you give them, it don't matter what you do for them. If they up against it, they damn near giving up everything they know.
What makes this whole situation even wilder is that Durk and Bricc Baby used to be tight. They collabed on tracks like Chick for Yo Chick in 2016 and Ring Ring in 2015 with Kid Ink and Lil Reese. Someone even posted a pic on Reddit showing them in a California studio together in 2022, suggesting they were still cool not that long ago. This pattern of being close one minute and beefing the next is kind of similar to what went down between Durk and Chief Keef. They started off as the faces of Chicago drill, but things got rocky after Durk signed to Def Jam and Interscope in late 2012. While Keef was pushing his Glow Gang movement, their issues came from street politics and perceived disloyalty. Durk felt like Keef was switching sides by showing love to West Coast rappers like Tyga and The Game on their Chirac remix. But unlike the Bricc Baby drama, Durk and Keef eventually squashed their beef in August 2014, proving not every rap feud ends in bloodshed or court cases. This current controversy, though, has fans split down the middle. Some think Bricc Baby is a straight-up snitch, while others believe he's just catching strays. One Reddit user didn't hold back, saying, "This is dry snitching as a mother," while another was heated, asking, "Why would you even say that on a big platform like No Jumper? Durk's gotta cut this off. Can't keep people around who can't shut their mouth." This whole mess also ties into Durk's long-standing beef with NBA YoungBoy. That feud popped off around 2020 after King Von's death, and has grown into one of Durk's most intense conflicts. The two have fired off multiple diss tracks at each other, like YoungBoy's Bring the Hook and I Hate YoungBoy, and Durk's Aha. In an interview, Durk even responded to questions about how the beef started in the first place.
What's the issue with you and YoungBoy? Like, how did it start? Because there's
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know. 'Cause what you do?
You've met him before.
What did you do for me to be into it with you, like the real thing? Diss songs back and forth. Cool.
I think he's mad. I think there's two things that he.
This clip shows how rap beefs often start from small misunderstandings and then spiral into serious situations. Connection between the YoungBoy tension and the Bricc Baby drama makes everything more complicated, since fans view these conflicts as part of the same ongoing storyline. To make matters worse, another associate named Jam has also been accused of cooperating with the police. With multiple snitching allegations floating around Durk's case, fans are scrambling to figure out who might actually be feeding info to the feds. On April 9th, 2025, an expose claimed that No Jumper broke down newly surfaced federal paperwork tied to Bricc Baby's wiretaps, where he allegedly made some wild statements and faced new snitching allegations. The very next day, another post reported that Bricc Baby was denied bond after federal authorities used No Jumper podcast footage as evidence. These new developments suggest the feds may have some serious dirt on Bricc Baby, though the full details remain unclear. The controversy surrounding Bricc Baby isn't just about him possibly talking to law enforcement, it's also about his past statements, which some people see as dry snitching. In other words, implying criminal activity without directly calling it out. Back in February 2023, Bricc Baby suggested that people shouldn't keep telling Durk to slide for Von, hinting that Durk had already gotten revenge for King Von's death. That kind of comment made people question his loyalty and discretion. At the heart of this entire situation are the street codes. Hip-hop's unwritten rules about loyalty, silence, and never cooperating with the authorities. The allegations against Bricc Baby hit especially hard because they strike at one of the most sacred principles in street culture: never talk to the cops. And with Lil Durk's legal situation becoming more severe by the day, speculation is only getting louder. With all these allegations flying, fans are trying to figure out who might really be working with the feds. Durk is facing serious charges: conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and using a firearm in furtherance of a violent crime that led to death. If convicted, he could be staring down a life sentence. This case centers around deeply personal beef. Federal prosecutors allege that Lil Durk orchestrated the murder for hire plot to get revenge on Quando Rondo for King Von's death back in 2020. The ongoing cycle of violence shows just how deadly street loyalty and revenge can be. Durk's beef with Quando Rondo stands apart from his other conflicts: his short-lived issues with Chief Keef, which they squashed in 2014, or his mostly online spats with Tyga and The Game. The Rondo situation has real bodies behind it. It's the most serious escalation Durk has faced, with legal consequences that could cost him his freedom and his career. The Rondo beef also highlights how deeply connected the music industry and the streets have become. According to federal documents, Durk allegedly offered a $50,000 killer's fee, along with opportunities through OTF, to whoever carried out the hit. Using music industry perks as part of a murder scheme shows just how blurred the lines have become in drill culture. And this isn't the first time Durk has been linked to violence against his ops. After FBG Duck was murdered in August 2020, Durk paid tribute to him during a 2024 Chicago concert, displaying Duck's image alongside deceased rappers. That moment sparked outrage from Duck's mother, who filed a lawsuit in October 2024 accusing Durk, OTF, and King Von of being involved in Duck's murder. Even though 6 men were convicted for Duck's murder in January 2024, the lawsuit still claims that Durk and his team played a role, adding another layer to his legal troubles. Durk has openly talked about how King Von's death changed him and created pressure for retaliation. In this interview clip, he breaks down the complicated street politics behind it all.
The whole situation that happened with Quando.
How we live and how we go by our and I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there. Shut the fuck up. You weren't there. So you made a diss and said something about Von. That's why I don't with you. You ain't did. You did zero. In reality. It just happened the way it happened.
This clip shows just how personal these beefs get and how much pressure artists feel from fans and peers alike to slide for their homies. The expectations on Durk to get back for Von might have pushed him toward the alleged murder plot, creating a storm where loyalty and revenge got dangerously mixed up. The whole concept of loyalty in drill music is messy and often full of contradictions. While artists like Durk preach standing by your squad, the reality is that allegiances shift over time. Durk's early beef with Lil Jojo back in 2012 was rooted in gang politics, black disciples on Durk's side versus gangster disciples on Jojo's. When Jojo was killed in September 2012 while riding a bike in Englewood, it became one of drill's first major losses. Durk was never officially linked to the murder, but social media has become the real battleground for these beefs. On X, users are dissecting everything. One wrote, #BrickBaby has gone into hiding. Bet you won't see him on No Jumper anymore. Another said, wouldn't be surprised if Bricc Baby was the other co-conspirator mentioned in the paperwork. Bricc Baby's viral No Jumper interview only added fuel to the fire. As it made the rounds online, fans immediately questioned whether he snitched on Durk. The speed these accusations spread shows how fast reputations can crumble in today's digital world. On Reddit, users are analyzing his every word. In one discussion about Bricc Baby saying Durk didn't need to slide for Von anymore after Lil Pab's death, a user called it dry snitching as a mother. Another wrote, IMO Durk paid for. That hit. Look at all the signs. Bricc Baby has tried to fight back against the rumors. In an X post from October 25, 2024, he claimed he was just trolling, not snitching, and tried to play it off as a joke or misunderstanding. But the controversy kicked off a deeper conversation about what really counts as snitching in today's hip-hop scene. Some argue Bricc Baby's public comments, while not direct cooperation, still break street code by hinting at illegal activity. Others point out the hypocrisy. Rappers talk crimes in songs all the time, but call others rats when they do the same in interviews. These snitching allegations against Bricc Baby hit even harder, given Durk's past. His beef with 6699 was rooted in 669 cooperating with the feds against his 9 Trey Bloods in 2019. Like many in the culture, Durk saw that as a major street code violation. Now, the irony that Durk himself might be facing betrayal from someone close to him adds a whole new twist. It raises deeper questions about loyalty, survival, and the blurred lines in street life, especially when serious charges are on the line. Just like 1090 Jake pointed out in this interview about Durk's co-defendants.
And I said, it completely depends on his co-defendants. If they testify against him, he's cooked.
Yeah.
If everyone stays quiet, he'll be good, but it's a little hard for the actual shooters that have been caught, that are confirmed that they're the shooters, to just say, yeah, I'll do life in prison. Like, okay, no problem.
This assessment reveals the cold truth about federal cases. Loyalty often has limits when decades in prison are on the table. Durk's 5 co-defendants, Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa. Houston are each facing impossible choices: cooperate or stay loyal. The alleged murder-for-hire plot itself highlights the dangerous blend of street loyalty and violence. Prosecutors claim Lil Durk offered a $50,000 payout plus music industry opportunities through F to those who carried out the hit. The way industry. Perks were allegedly used to fuel violence shows how easily loyalty can be bought, with deadly consequences. One chilling detail from the case is how Durk and his crew supposedly communicated. Prosecutors say he used coded language like telling someone, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with Sick Me." That kind of phrasing shows Durk understood the legal risks, which makes the possibility of any co-defendant cooperating even more shocking to fans. King Von's murder still casts a shadow over the hip-hop world. Von, killed in November 2020 outside an Atlanta club during a clash with Quando Rondo's crew, was more than just an artist. He was Durk's close friend. His death triggered massive pressure online for revenge, with fans constantly asking when Durk would slide for Von. That pressure highlights how street codes aren't just kept alive in neighborhoods, they're amplified by social media. Fans demanding blood online create a culture where violence is expected, even celebrated, forcing artists like Durk into a dangerous bind between street cred and legal consequences. Quando Rondo hasn't stayed quiet either. He's weighed in on the Durk and Bricc baby drama, signaling the beef's far from settled. In a March 2024 Reddit discussion, fans analyzed Quando's statement. It's time to make the score 2-1, interpreting it as a threat of retaliation. This cycle of threats and potential payback shows how these feuds go beyond artists. They involve entire entourages and fan bases. Interestingly, Rondo has also shown signs of wanting peace. He cited his Muslim faith and a conversation with a spiritual advisor in September 2024 as reasons to step back from the beef. His October 2024 Instagram post about forgiveness was seen by many as a subtle nod to Durk's arrest, hinting at a shift in mindset. At least one side might be ready to end the cycle of violence, but with Durk facing serious federal charges, peace feels unlikely for now. The Bricc baby controversy also highlights the tangled web of street politics between LA and Chicago. As an LA-based rapper with ties to the Rolling 60s Crips, Bricc baby's connection to Chicago's Lil Durk shows how regional lines in hip-hop have blurred. These cross-city alliances create both powerful bonds and risky complications when legal drama hits. Lil Durk's federal case casts a huge shadow over the entire situation. The charges paint a grim picture. Prosecutors allege he orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot to retaliate against Quando Rondo for King Von's death. Though Rondo survived, his cousin Savia Lav Robinson was killed in the August 2022 shooting in LA. Prosecutors say Durk financed the operation, offering a $50,000 fee and music industry opportunities through his F label. The feds claim Durk tried to flee justice, allegedly booking flights to Italy, Switzerland, and the UAE, a move that likely played a role in the judge's decision to deny him bond. The evidence is stacking up. Financial transactions, phone records, text messages, surveillance footage, and a recorded jail call from co-defendant Keith Jones, allegedly referencing Durk's reaction to the failed hit. The big one. We missed it. All this convinced the judge Durk was both a flight risk and an influential figure with serious reach. To make matters worse, prosecutors have also floated Durk's possible involvement in another Chicago homicide, the January 2022 killing of Stefan Mack, though no charges have been filed in that case. The trial, initially set for January 7, 2025, has been pushed to October 14th due to the overwhelming evidence, more than 230 gigabytes of digital files and over 20,000 pages of documents. That kind of backlog puts serious heat on Durk's co-defendants, who may now be weighing the pressure to flip. 1090. Jake gave a sobering breakdown of just how bad things are looking for Durk.
I think the question shouldn't be, will he beat it? I think the question should be, will he survive it?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't necessarily think you're just beating a Fed case like that. I think there's gonna be a difference where, 5 years, yeah, you'll survive that. 10 years, you'll survive that. A 80-year sentence plus life, you're not making it,
Federal case might include even more disturbing elements than initially reported. According to Chicago-based YouTuber Trench's News, there might have been a rat placed in the cell of one of the co-defendants.
So, why is he in Illinois River? The feds put an informant in his cell, put in an informant. And the thing about this is the man is gonna say the reason why he told his cellie this is because he was scared and that he needed protection. But I'm finna read it off the paper.
This suggests federal authorities may have planted an informant in co-defendant AJ's cell, likely referring to Asa Houston, who allegedly recorded conversations about the murder-for-hire plot. Lil Durk's current legal trouble is far more serious than any of his past run-ins with the law. While he previously faced charges in a 2019 Atlanta shooting case, which was dropped in 2022, this federal indictment carries life-altering consequences. It reflects a pattern. As Durk's rap beefs have escalated, so have the stakes, evolving from local Chicago rivalries to deadly multi-state operations. So, where does Bricc Baby fit into all of this? Despite the swirling rumors, his name doesn't appear in the official court documents related to Durk's federal case. He's not listed as one of the 5 co-defendants, and there's no public evidence directly tying him to the charges. Still, reports claim federal agents raided his home in 2023 and seized a phone containing messages with Durk. If true, it shows the feds saw him as relevant, even if he wasn't formally charged. The alleged hit's failure adds another twist. According to Trench's News, the shooters reportedly made rookie mistakes during their getaway, errors that could prove critical in the prosecution's case.
Now, in the process of them doing all this, they didn't realize that they had their phone in the car and they locked the car door. So when they try to run back to the car after the murder, the car doors was locked. So what do you do when the car door is locked and you only got 30, 40 seconds possibly before the police come?
This mistake led to a phone being left behind, which police later recovered. The device contained critical evidence, including calls and texts between the alleged shooters discussing payments from Durk. This rookie move highlights the chaotic reality of street violence, far from the calculated image often glorified in rap lyrics. The Quando Rondo situation marks the deadliest of all Durk's beefs. While conflicts with figures like Lil Jojo, FBG Duck, and Chief Keef made noise in Chicago's drill scene, the death of Savia Robinson, Lil Pab, as collateral damage in the plot targeting Rondo represents a tragic escalation. Unlike some of Durk's previous beefs, like with Chief Keef, which was eventually squashed, or the back and forths with Tyga and The Game, the Rondo conflict carries both legal and human consequences that could permanently derail Durk's career and freedom. Interestingly, Rondo has since expressed a desire to end the beef, citing his Muslim faith during a September 2024 conversation with a Muslim advisor who urged reconciliation. His October 2024 Instagram post about forgiveness seemed to reference Durk's arrest, suggesting that at least one side might be open to peace. But with Durk facing serious charges, any potential for reconciliation seems distant for now. The broader implications of this case go beyond just Durk and Bricc Baby. The use of rap lyrics as evidence has sparked significant controversy, with critics arguing it criminalizes artistic expression. Prosecutors have reportedly cited Durk's lyrics as part of their case, raising concerns about the dangerous blurring of lines between art and evidence. Despite being incarcerated, Durk has maintained his music career. His March 2025 album Deep Thoughts features introspective tracks, but notably avoids any direct references to his legal troubles or Bricc Baby, suggesting a strategic decision to limit new evidence through his music while his case unfolds. The stakes in this case go far beyond potential prison time for artists like Durk and Bricc Baby. Their identities and careers are deeply intertwined with their credibility in hip-hop culture. Snitching allegations, true or not, can destroy reputations and end careers. This explains the strong denials from Bricc Baby and the intense public scrutiny surrounding every aspect of this case. Durk's legal issues have also cast a massive shadow over Chicago's drill scene. As one of the genre's biggest names, his situation underscores the dangers facing artists who rise from violent neighborhoods. The very authenticity that drives their careers can also lead to devastating legal consequences. The baby's involvement adds another twist. In an interview, Durk explained how he handled the baby's collaboration with NBA YoungBoy, showing a pragmatic approach to navigating industry relationships.
I DM'd the baby and told him, I'm like, hey fam, I'm like, whatever you got going on, y'all doing the tape, I'm like, that's y'all. You feel me? That's when the other came out, oh man, doing the white flag in my DM. Ooh. No, that's what he supposedly said.
This clip highlights the complexity of industry relationships, where artists juggle personal loyalties, business opportunities, and street credibility. Durk's approach to working with the baby suggests a more nuanced understanding of hip-hop, politics than the rigid street codes might imply, raising questions about how the Bricc Baby situation could have been handled differently. The Bricc Baby controversy also mirrors some of Durk's other recent legal issues. In October 2024, FBG Duck's mother filed a lawsuit claiming that Durk, F, and King Von were involved in Duck's murder in August 2020. This followed Durk's tribute to Duck during a 2024 Chicago concert where he displayed Duck's image, alongside other deceased rappers, a move that many critics deemed hypocritical. While 6 individuals were convicted for Duck's murder in January 2024, no direct evidence has publicly connected Durk to the killing. However, the lawsuit alleges that F was involved. Several of Durk's associates have also faced serious legal consequences, with some even caught in the crossfire of his ongoing legal battles. Among all his conflicts, the body count has been notably high. Lil Jojo was killed in 2012, FBG Duck in 2020, and Savaya Robinson, Lil Pab, in 2022 as collateral damage in the Quande Rondo situation. Others tied to these beefs, including Quando Rondo, 66999, Famous Dex, and G Herbo, are also facing their own legal troubles. Now, regarding Bricc Baby, whether he actually snitched on Durk or is simply the target of unfounded rumors remains unclear. What's undeniable, though, is that the allegations against him reflect the intense pressure and paranoia that come with federal cases in hip-hop. In an industry where loyalty is paramount, just the suggestion of cooperating with authorities can destroy reputations and careers. The next few months will be crucial for Durk as his legal team prepares for the October 2025 trial. With his freedom on the line, the question of who might be cooperating with authorities takes on life-changing significance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the boxes on your screen to watch more similar content.